ladies and mostly gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about Death Knights once again for the third video in a row, but ladies and gentlemen, this one is spicy as frick. So the TLDW of the other two videos is essentially we ended up with some brand new Death Knight textures for Vulpera, all the allied races, and Pandaren, and if you didn't know, they can't be Death Knights as of right now. We then ended up with a brand new portal texture for a portal, presumably leading to Bolvar on the Frozen Throne. So yeah, what is it now? What has possibly happened now that makes this even spicier? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you couldn't notice from the title of the video, there are 4 new items which are added in the patch 8.3 PTR. Now these are the Freezing Blade of the Ebon Blade, the Unholy Blade, the Crimson Blade, and the Burning Blade. Obviously these pretty much represent each of the specs of a Death Knight, but the Burning Blade is something new there, and there is actually 2 different models for these. I believe they're brand new models. They do look pretty darn good, and they're 2-handed swords, so they look pretty much like this. I mean, they're pretty awesome looking swords. They are kind of low res on the handle though, but the actual art of them and the effects of the fire and stuff like that is really, really nice, and I'm a big fan of the look of these swords. But the real question is, where do they come from? What is the story with these swords and why are they suddenly in the game? So the actual stats of these swords pretty much make them in the kind of level 58 range, which is pretty much where you would normally finish your brand new Death Knight when you do the Death Knight starting zone. And interestingly enough, on the collections tab, it lists them as a quest reward. Now, people way smarter than me have been trudging through the game files trying to find out which specific quest these items come from, and as of right now, this quest we believe is not in the game. That's what we believe. We might be wrong, they might be hiding there deep in the game files, but as of right now, we believe that the quest is currently not in the game for these blades. But it is pretty much confirmation that these will come from some sort of quest, presumably a quest which is designed for allied race, for pandas, for brand new Death Knights, because if you look at the design of the sword, the coloration, the fire, very, very similar to Bolvar. Bolvar, as the Lich King, has a different coloration palette to the Lich King. So all of the Lich King Death Knight stuff, a lot of dark blue, a bit of brown. These are kind of brighter, redder, fierier, way more similar to a Bolvar Lich King as opposed to a Arthas Lich King. So I did actually do a bit of digging myself on wow.tools, shout out to wow.tools by the way, link is in the description, great website. Now this is a DB2 file called Quest Package Item. Now this was obviously updated in 8.3 with new quests and things like that. I'm not really sure what it is. It obviously has relation to quests, and right here at the bottom are all 4 of the brand new items. But this item here, which relates to the same package ID, whatever that means, 18991, whatever that packet ID means, is this one quest with 4 rewards. And what is this 4th reward, you ask? This item right here, 142321, is the one-handed sword called Saber of the Ebon Blade, which is from the last quest of the Death Knight starting zone. So if you don't know, as of right now, at the end of the Death Knight starting zone, they give you a choice between a 2-handed axe, a 2-handed sword, and a 1-handed sword, obviously representing the different specs of the Death Knight. Now, in theory, whatever this quest is that uses this package ID, whatever that is, would reward one of the 4 new 2-handed blades and a choice of the 1-handed weapon, which would make sense for the specs of the Death Knight. So yeah, that is pretty much it. My brand new theory on this, honestly, with the fact that we've got these weapons in the 8.3 PTR, we've got the encrypted voiceovers of Bolvar saying 8.3 in them, what do I think? Honestly, I feel like we're going to get some sort of Bolvar Lich King content either in 8.3 that we currently haven't seen, or in 8.3.5, which is currently to be announced by Blizzard, presumably at BlizzCon. There could also be a chance of it being for the next expansion. I honestly don't know. Guys, let me know down below what you think of these new weapons. Where do they come from? What's the story? Are we getting pandas and allied races as Death Knights as soon as 8.3 or potentially 8.3.5 or even the next expansion? Honestly, I really do feel like the fire is so hot with these allied race and panda Death Knights. It's got to be something. Something is happening with all of this, and I cannot wait for it. I really, really can't. So before I go, let's give a massive shout out to my mates and patrons and YouTube channel members. You guys are awesome. And if you'd like to support the channel in any of those ways, links are down below. So leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. We've also got a partner Discord channel with over 3,000 members. And I'm also now streaming on twitch.tv, where we're actually checking this out on Twitch, looking at all the weapons, trying to figure it all out on Twitch with you guys helping in the chat. It was a lot of fun. So guys, if you want to see content like that, twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.